You see it all over social media. The highlight reel. The perfect shot of a supercar, the influencer lifestyle, the dream life. But what if I told you that this $100,000 car doesn't actually cost $100,000? What if it's closer to $180,000, and what if it's silently delaying your financial freedom by years? Today, we are breaking down luxury versus reality. By the end of this video, you will know exactly whether buying that dream car makes financial sense, or if it's a trap that quietly keeps people broke. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. Nobody buys a $100,000 car because they need it. It's not about getting from point A to point B. People buy it for the feeling. They buy it for status, for validation, for that feeling of success. It's that "I've finally made it" energy. And social media just pours gasoline on that fire. We constantly see people who look younger than us, driving cars we think we should have by now. But here's the really dangerous part. Most people are only copying the lifestyle, not the income that's supposed to be behind it. They see the shiny object, not the years of work or the massive bank account that truly supports it. And luxury looks so affordable when you only look at that monthly payment. So let's look at how luxury is actually sold to you. The fantasy version. You walk into a dealership, eyeing that $100,000 car. The salesperson breaks it down for you. Okay, a $10,000 down payment. That's manageable. And the monthly payment? Let's say it's between $1,500 and $1,700 a month on a 72-month loan. They'll tell you things like, "Come on, you deserve this," or "You work so hard." It's time to treat yourself, and maybe the most dangerous one, you can afford the payment, and technically, when you look at your paycheck, maybe you can squeeze it in, but here's the critical distinction you have to make. Affording the payment is not the same as affording the car. And that's the mistake that costs people a fortune. Now, let's pull back the curtain for a reality check on the true cost. First up, interest. That 72-month loan, which is 6 years, means you're going to pay over $20,000 in interest alone. That's 20 grand you are literally just giving to the bank. It's money you spend and will never, ever see again. It adds zero value to your life. Next, let's talk about insurance. A luxury car comes with luxury insurance premiums. We're not talking about your standard $100 a month policy. You're looking at $300 to $400 a month, easily. That's $4,000 to $5,000 a year. Over the life of your 6-year loan, you're looking at over $25,000 just for insurance. That's another massive hidden cost that most people don't factor in when they raid daydreaming in. The showroom. And then there's maintenance and repairs. Luxury maintenance isn't optional. It's required to keep the car running and to maintain its warranty. You're talking about premium tires that cost a fortune, specialized mechanics who charge double the rate of a regular shop, and once that warranty is up, any repair can be a 4 or 5-figure bill. On average, you can expect to spend about $3,000 a year just on upkeep. Over 5 years, that's another $15,000. But the biggest cost, the silent killer that nobody ever talks about, is depreciation. That beautiful $100,000 car loses 20 to 30% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. Within 5 years, it will have lost about 50% of its value. Think about that. You just lost $50,000, and you didn't even spend it on anything tangible. It just vanished into thin air. So, let's set up the total reality cost. You started with a price of $100,000. Add $20,000 in interest. Add $25,000 in insurance. Add another $15,000 in maintenance. And then subtract the $50,000 lost to depreciation. Your total cost to own this car for about 5 or 6 years is not $100,000. It's closer to $180,000. That is the real price you pay for that "I've made it" feeling. Now, here's where it really starts to hurt. Let's talk about opportunity cost, the part that nobody ever sees because it's invisible. Let's imagine that instead of that $1,500 a month car payment, you invested that money, $1,500 a month, every month, for 10 years, at a conservative 8% average market return. Do you know what that money becomes? $275,000. If you kept going for 20 years, that turns into over $800,000. So the question isn't, can I afford the monthly payment on this car? The real question is this car worth nearly $1 million of my future self's money? Is this car worth delaying my financial freedom? When you frame it like that, the answer becomes a lot clearer. So who can actually afford these luxury cars? The truly wealthy follow a simple rule. A luxury car should cost less than 10 to 15% of your annual income. It should be a purchase that's paid for comfortably, without causing any financial stress, and is definitely not financed for 6 years just to project an image of wealth. This means if you're making $100,000 a year, buying a $100,000 car is a financially terrible idea. It's a fast track to being house poor, but car rich. The hard truth is that most of the fancy cars you see on the road are driven by people living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, and constantly chasing an image they can't sustain. Real wealth is often boring. It's index funds and paid-off houses, not flashy cars in the driveway. So here's the final verdict. Luxury itself is not the enemy. Buying luxury you can't truly afford, way too early in your financial journey, is the enemy. Because the ultimate goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to be rich. And being rich means being free. Free from debt, free from stress, free to make choices based on what you want, not what you owe. And I promise you, financial freedom doesn't care what kind of car you drive. If you want more breakdowns on luxury versus reality finance, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because remember, looking rich is loud, but being rich is silent. Thanks for watching.